tell us if you need us to do anything.
Well, just say a little bit into the microphone to make sure it can pick up.
Okay, I'm a bell end. Sorry that I'm about to ruin your podcast, Steve.
That could be the sound then. Hello everyone, welcome to the Angstcast podcast. I am Stephen Hooke, and joining me this week is none other than incomparable Miss Kate Jackson. How you doing, Kate?
Hello there, how are you?
Damp, very damp.
Yeah.
Just come to walk and grab you, and it's absolutely pissing it down.
That's the thing. Without any context, obviously, whenever you release this is mid-May.
Yeah.
And it's pissing it down every single day.
Fucking absolutely miserable weather, and I just realised I'm wearing a hat and a hood. And they're both really, really wet.
And you sat inside as well, so it makes
it's fucking horrible. So, carrying on with our A to Z, this week we're on X, which was a really bullshit letter to think of for very obvious reasons.
I could have sat here and talked about xylophones for an hour.
I mean, if you could have done that, if I had strong feelings towards a xylophone, I would have totally done that. But I haven't looked at a xylophone since I was probably about 9.
Well, I could have brought one along and just played it and just annoyed you.
For an hour, just bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm still getting angry just for that alone.
All I got to think in my head now is I remember, must have been like towards the end of GCSEs actually, someone had like a glockenspiel xylophone sort of thing. And they did a performance on that for a school show. I was like, of all the instruments in the world, why would you choose to specialise in a fucking glockenspiel?
It's like someone specialising on a triangle.
Yeah,
it's just like,
or a fucking recorder. I don't know.
The recorder just disappears after primary school. You never see any.
Absolutely is. I remember my sister tried learning how to play that because of school, and I was like, where did this come from?
It's like the flute for people who are too lazy to learn the flute.
Amazing. So in the end, I went with an umbrella term. I've called it XXX kisses. And it's basically, yeah, that groan says it all. It's basically like an umbrella term for just overtly outward displays of affection. And the main inspiration, I won't name drop because I'm still good friends with him. A friend of mine at uni. So obviously he was in a relationship. You have the honeymoon phase where obviously you are really overly cute and cuddly with people and it's disgusting. He got to the point where it had been about 8 months and we were sat behind him in a lecture and I just happened to glance down and he's like tapping away on his fucking BlackBerry, so you already know he's a prick. Tapping away on his BlackBerry and he's writing a message, and it must have been like 1 or 2 texts, 'cause you know how they sort of overlap. And then he put X's at the end of it. And I swear there's like 1 or 2 page text turned into a 3 or 4 just based on all the X's he put at the end of it.
Ugh.
Right?
Just overcompensating, man.
And I was just sad because he was older than us, because I think I took a year out. I think he took 2 years out before uni because I think he had a college course in between. And I was like, you are older than the rest of us. You should be more mature than this. You should have more of a head on your shoulders.
It's probably his first relationship, and he's been like, oh, how do I go about it?
It made me sick. And I sound really bad because I was glancing at his text.
That is quite bad.
Yeah, well. I saw one and it was still like, bear in mind, still 8 months into the relationship. It was like, oh no, I love you so much. You are my little cutie pie. Mwah, mwah. I was like, oh, get a fucking grip.
If your podcaster could see my face.
One day we'll have video podcasts, that's a dream. And just have like, either myself or whoever gets on just watch the whole world collapse.
Just like an hour of disgusting looks into the camera.
Yeah, well, that's what YouTube's for.
Yeah, definitely. It's can't argue with that.
Do you receive X's or X's no's, or do you send X's at the end of text messages? I don't think you've ever sent me one.
No, well, to be fair, you only texted me for the first time about 2
Yeah, I
hours,
realised that I've had your number for about 2 years, and I messaged you this morning, and it's like the first time I've ever actually needed to text you.
No, I think the only person I've ever received an X from at the end of a text or Facebook message recently is, obviously previously on this podcast you've had Andy on there, and myself, Steve and Andy all work for the same company.
Yeah.
And we was all in the same branch of this company. And I remember Andy texted me one day saying, oh, do you fancy coming in for a shift today, XXX? And I was just like, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Didn't even send that to me. I think he meant to send it to someone else that was on his phone.
Just trying to sweet talk you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Sorry.
With the ex, I think I was in like year 7 or so, and that's when me and my friend group at the time were all starting to like text a lot more. And some of them would put like the X at the end of a message, and I remember I did it a few times, and each time it just felt so weird. It's like, why am I doing this? It just feels. It's not wrong because that sounds like borderline homophobic because most of my friends at the time were guys. It's just why.
It's one of those strange things. It's like you think, how did the next become to represent kisses? It's like not like the family fortunes, like it. It's like the next is going,
Maybe that's what it means. Like the entire time we think we're sending each other kisses, it's like, no, we hate you. I remember there was, I think there's a thing on Reddit somewhere that explains why we have X's, and it's a really, really dumb story.
Much like most things on Reddit.
Oh yeah, good.
I've never used it myself, but I can imagine that's what it's like.
Fucking do the computing degree at uni. Fucking everyone's on Reddit.
Well, I suppose I don't know what to say about that because I stopped at college.
Even now, I'll meet up with people. It's like, have you seen this on r/stroke whatever? I'm like, no.
No, it's just students. I mean, as I say, I left after college because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But in my class, there was only about 10 of us or so, and 2 of them kept on disappearing together, and then they come back all hot and sweating. It's like, at least clean up before you come back.
Jesus Christ.
It's like Jesus. It's like college. It's like we were 17, 18 at the time, give or take, and it's like no dignity whatsoever. At least they didn't do it in the room.
That's a bonus. That is a bonus.
Which I have known to happen.
Oh God, where did you go to school?
Well, this was at Lincoln College.
Oh, that explains a lot.
No, but it's just weird when you get people who do that. Like, I'm not going to mention which job it was with or when, but I was looking at CCTV once, and it overlooks a certain room in the building.
Yeah.
And there's these 2 people who are doing something in that room where basically she's there fondling her own right breast. And then her right hand's down his trousers.
Okay.
And I'm just sort of like, what the hell are you 2 actually looking at to prompt that? And it's it was just really weird because they felt like shaming it as well. I mean, fair play to them. It's like if you wanna, I don't even know. But it's like walking into a room and seeing that, you're like, oh, okay.
Not what I'm expecting.
Walk out straight away.
Oh yeah. I can name drop because she's been on before. But Emma was telling me when because obviously we all work in the same sort of place. When she said she started one day, and she saw a couple being like kind of intimate, and she said, "Oh well, gonna have to ask you to leave, guys. We're all closing up." And she just saw the guy pull his hand out of the girl's trousers and wipe it on his own trousers, and they walked away. I was like,
oh, that's just so wrong.
And like she's. I really wish I saw her face because Emma saw one who's just like, no.
That's how drunk just listening to it.
Oh yeah, it wasn't great. That was the very first thing she told me because she trained me up where we work. That was the very first story she ever told me. I like sat there like, what the fuck have I got myself into?
It is one of those places where you do see all sorts of stuff.
Literally, you do. And
obviously I've moved on to another branch of this company now. But we still see the exact same stuff.
So as much as I enjoy working there, I can't wait till I'm away and I can have a podcast with people who have also like stopped working there, so we're not like bound or anything, and just like go through all the stories, like because a lot of them we can't take because it's like too close to it, but it would just be the best time.
Well, that's the thing. It's like as soon as you get a group of people who've all left there, this podcast will last about 5 hours, and people will talk about times at this place.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I say, we get a lot of people. Well, we see pretty much everything where we work, and there's been quite a few displays of like public displays of affection, loads of PDA. I remember just like being like waiting to serve someone, and in the line there's just 2 people making out, not really giving a shit, and I'm just like, guys, can you come down? guys, and they're just not paying attention at all. I'm like, can you not wait? I mean, this is a public area. We don't need to see that.
Throw a hot dog at them. Probably not the only sausage you get in a face that night. So I've got. See, the thing is, I'm 32. Yeah, I've got quite a mindset of like someone in their early 20s. It's really weird.
No, I really wish we could throw things at people like that. I remember we had like a group of newbies in, and where we work, we've got like an escalator, and as they were going up, there was like this couple making out. One of the newbies just turned to me and was like, "Oh, I can't stand that." I was like, "What?" It's like other people's happiness. I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah, but it's like great. It's like, as I mentioned to you the other day when we was planning for this, and it's like, say for example, you go on a train, and you just get this couple, like if you're stood up, just stood right in front of you, and it's obviously they're a new couple or something because they're just stood there going.
Yeah.
It's like, please stop it. I'm tempted to just put my hand in between their faces.
No.
Just stop. It's like, if I don't, maybe it's because I'm frustrated. I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't get it.
One rule for all. It is grim. I've had it. So what for you then is acceptable in inverted commas?
I mean, obviously it depends on the context and where you are at the time. I think if you're in a closed context, like for example, again on a train, and everyone's having to stand up and you're stood right next to these people, that's not really a good place to do it. If it's like down the other end of the train, I couldn't give a fuck, to be honest. But it depends. I mean, obviously, it depends how you are as a person. Like if it's just kissing or hand holding, I'm fine with that as long as it's not right in my face. But it depends. It's as long as they don't do it right in my face, like as I could tell you this story, but basically
Do it.
I used to live in Blackburn.
Right.
Up in the northwest for a year, and I was coming back on the train. I worked in Accrington at BT at the time. Right. Shit company to work for, by the way.
It's okay, we don't work.
Cut. Shit company to work for, and I was coming home. For Accrington to Blackburn on the train is maybe 20 minutes because I lived in a place called Mill Hill, and I just on the train, and then just. Coming out the toilet. Well, I wasn't coming out the toilet. I was sat in the chair that was opposite the toilets.
Yeah.
And these two people, basically, they go in the toilets, and this is obviously what they're going to do. And I just think, okay, look the other way. And because it's quite dark, obviously the light reflects off the window.
Yeah.
And they didn't lock the door.
No.
So then all of a sudden, I'm just there staring out the window as we're going through a place called Rishton.
Yeah.
And we're going through there, and all of a sudden I just see this, just looking in the window, and it's just see a massive, just dick just there in the window, and it's like, okay, this is
happening. This is my life.
Yes, this is the northwest people. That is, they've got no shame up there. I love the area. Don't get me wrong, really nice area of the country, but it's just, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's
time and place.
There's a time and a place, and at least lock the door.
Yeah. Rule number one if you're gonna do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I kind of have a similar stance to you in terms of like what's okay and what's not okay. I'm completely fine with couples holding hands. We often have like group of friends and friends are in couples, so I don't mind them like slugging each other, calling each other. It's when it feels like they want to be the centre of attention, and they're just like laying there like. It's like I've got, I'm fairly certain I've got that misophonia or whatever it's called, where you can't stand the little noises. Like
I'm the same. Exactly.
I feel so bad for Jacob, my housemate, because I give him so much shit because he's got asthma, so he can't breathe through his nose. So he's got to chew his mouth open, and it drives me fucking insane all the fucking time. I give him so much shit for it. But it's that same concept. Just, I'm like, come on.
I was about to say I could share a story with someone I work with at the moment, but they'll probably hear this. But it's like, it's one of those things where just close. Obviously, in the case of him, I can understand, but it's just like close your fucking mouth when you're eating. It's not that hard. And this is me toned down ranting, by the way. I could probably rant if I wanted to.
Do it. This is probably like a chance to get rid of all that built-up anger, built-up aggression.
Oh, you've not read my Facebook recently, have you?
Not. Oh well, you've got all your stories about London.
Yeah. Just for context, by the way, I live and work in London now, so there's a scene in Star Wars which is like, it goes, you've never seen a hive of such scum and villainy. And it could easily be about London. It's I hate living there. I'm hoping by the time this goes out, whatever it'll be, I won't live there anymore, but it's just so full. I think scum's the right word for a lot of people that live in London.
I've only been there a couple of times. I only spent time there once. And it's like the most insane experience. Like going through Soho at night is the most bonkers experience I've ever seen in my life. And like going through, you've got like all your like straight bars, and you've got a lot of gay bars, you've got like drag bars, and just seeing people from all walks of life. Like that's totally cool. But the fact they all are drunk and they're all like forgotten like what's the realm of decency. I'm like, Can you not? I'm trying to have fun.
No, it's one of those things. It's like just think about other people. It's like one of the things I've noticed in London, as mentioned, there's quite a lot of rude people down there.
Yeah.
And you get going back to hand holding slightly, normal thing normally. But if you're walking down the street and it's quite a narrow road, there's quite a lot of them in London, and you get people holding hands, and if you're walking the opposite direction, they refuse to move, so you either step out into traffic or basically act like you're about to get clotheslined in wrestling and do a flip and then get RKO'd out of nowhere. Oh, that's the thing. I mean, I've been watching wrestling for about 25 years now, and obviously I was a wrestler briefly. But it's just like, dude, for fuck's sake, just for 2 seconds, can you not avoid holding your hand, or you're that far under the fucking thumb that you can't let go of it for?
Yeah, I've seen people before where they've like been holding hands and they've been walking like towards something, like a bollard in the road, and they've like been so lost in their own world, they've just like end up taking like hurting the hands because they've like ricocheted off a pillar and haven't noticed because they're just, no, you're cute, no, you're cute. Like, oh, fuck off.
It's like the equivalent of, oh, you hang up. No, you
hang
up.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
And it's just like...
I'm so glad I wasn't, like, alive for that generation, because, like, this age difference between us, by the time I was growing up, that whole, like, constantly talking on the phone thing was pretty much done. Like, we grew up on MSN.
Yeah, well, same here. I was about 16 when that came out. But
yeah.
It's like all the people I was hearing them just, like, saying, no, you hang up. Obviously, I can only hear one end of this. And, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. After about 5 times, I stood up, went and grabbed the phone, and plugged up for them. That's how annoyed I was getting because of it.
Fucking hell, it's just horrible. And with MSN, like a new breed of problem we've got is social media with couples.
Ugh.
Because we get like the constant reminder, like if it's an anniversary coming up, like so and so got me this, and it's just, if I go through like Instagram now, it's just like full of like, oh, when babe buys me this, and it's like got like diamond rings or a puppy or that sort of thing. Like, fuck off.
No, I fully agree. It's like one of the things where when someone gets engaged, it's just like that's all you hear about. I mean, it's like it's when they have kids as well. It's like just a never streaming end picture of kids. It's like I don't want to be pictured with someone.
Oh, fucking right. As an old friend of mine, she ended up having twins. Jesus fucking Christ, I know more about those two fucking brats than I do my own nieces and nephews. All the fucking times, oh, so-and-so has his first tooth, and oh, they're cuddling each other, and oh, one of them had a cry. Of course they're gonna have a fucking cry, it's less than a year old, you bitch.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I understand, okay, when they're first born, saying, oh, welcome to the world.
Yeah, that's fine.
Welcome to the world, snot-nose.
Yeah.
Or whatever stupid name they call the kids these days. I'm from a generation where sensible names just seem to have gone out the window.
What can you say about wrestling? Like Daniel Bryan just called his first little one Birdie Joe.
Ugh.
Birdie!
It's like, I don't even know where to begin.
Fucking hell.
But it's, I've lost my point now. But, oh yeah, like the first picture, or the first month or two, fair enough, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like when there's still one, and it's just like, do you actually post about anything else anymore? It's like, there was this girl I went to school with, she, I think her oldest would be about 8 or 9 by now, and she got curious the other day and I went through her Facebook, and the last time she posted something that wasn't about a kid, or a picture of a kid or anything, was 7 years and 2 months ago.
Fucking Christ!
She doesn't post a lot, just to clarify. It's not like it's not like those people who post like 3 or 4 times a day and just scrolling through that. But it's just, it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not friends with your kids. It's like, oh, look at this. It's like Miles got chocolate all over his face because he was eating a Twix.
Well done!
You're not a good parent then if they're like 7 or 8 years old and they're still getting chocolate all over their face. Teach them some manners, for fuck's sake.
It's just, like, I think the worst one I've seen for that kind of ilk is when they get anything to do with tattoos. Because, like, my family is very pro-tattoo. Like, mum's got over 200. I've got, as of recording this, I've got just the one.
I'm going to leave this conversation entirely to you because I've not got a single one. So.
I've never been a fan of people getting a significant other's name tattooed. I've been totally okay with something that means that other, like they'll have, like I think my housemate's boyfriend wants to get a tattoo of some kind of tree, and the fruit that bears the tree is something like, it's really convoluted. But the fruit that bears a tree is like got something to do with the birth month of the housemate. It's convoluted, but it's a thing where if like something were to happen between them, if anyone's look at it, it's just a tattoo. It's like, oh, what's the tattoo? Oh, it was a cool design. Think about getting covered up, blah blah. But it's when you have like the name, like,
you then got to find someone else with that name.
Yeah. And then it's really weird. It's like, how long have you had my name tattooed? It's like, I just had I was really confident about the relationship from the start.
Yeah, it's. I was stalking you for years,
yeah.
hoping that you'd apply to work at the place that we both work at. And now it's worked. It's all part of a master plan.
Yeah. But people who get like names of significant others, I just think it's a bad idea. Like I think my mum got like a really, really like easy fix because my parents split up when I was a kid. Dad ended up having like some weird tribal thing to cover up my mum's name. My dad's called Steve, and obviously I'm Steven, so all she had to do was put an extra N at the end of a tattoo, and she's like, there you go, sorted.
That confused the hell out of me the other day, by the way, when your dad liked something on Facebook, a picture I posted of you. I was like thinking, why is Steve liking this, and then Steve and Michael Hooker's like this as well? I was just like, hey, what the fuck's going on here?
We're not a creative family, there's 4 Stevens in our family.
Did you only have like one page of the not dictionary, the name
dictionary?
Dictionary, yeah.
If it makes it better, both my granddads were both called Ron.
Okay.
We're really not creative. But yeah, like with yeah, it's great. With the tattoos, the names are one thing. It's when people get like a matching tattoo or like a tattoo that when they put their hands together it makes a design.
Like
thing.
The heart with the arrow through it, and like one's got half of it and the other.
Yeah, or puzzle pieces.
Ugh.
Or I think I saw one where it was when they held hands, one of them had like the back half of an arrow, one had the front half of the arrow, so it's like held hands, it's all one big arrow. Aren't we cute? I'm like, no.
But you think it's like then if they split up the person with the back half an arrow, it's just like, what the hell's going on here? If you see it, is the person with the front half of the arrow.
They're like, a little bit better off. It's like, it's just like an arrowhead, yeah, masculine, and it's like I've got like the feather end of an arrow. Woo.
What does that mean? Well, I used to date this dickhead.
Yeah.
And this is to remind me of them. It's like the only names I think are acceptable, like to get tattooed on yourself for your kids.
Yes, absolutely.
Other than that, no. It's I was sort of in a relationship with someone for about 8 years.
Sort of in a relationship, 8 years.
That'd be a different podcast.
Fair enough.
I could talk about that for God knows how many hours. But actually, yeah, that'd be a good example for this podcast actually, because there's a lot of. Let me put it this way: this girl, it's probably I don't know. Basically, me and this person, we met when I was about 18 or so. So we're talking 14, 15 years ago now.
Yeah.
And basically, one time we were due to meet at a theme park down south. I can't remember which one now. I think it's closed.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm just waiting at the gate, and all of a sudden, I hear her shout my name really loudly.
Okay.
And obviously, not what my name is now, what it was back then. And I just turned around, and all of a sudden she's hurtling towards me like an Olympic runner, and then just jumping over me so much that I didn't weigh as much as I do now back then, and I just keel over. and the best part about it is there's this old couple behind, just stood about a few feet behind me, and also because I'm going backwards, it falls into them.
Yeah.
And they fall over as well. It's like a series of
domino effect.
Yeah. And it's just. See, that for me is just like one of the things. Okay, I appreciate you excited to see me. Don't go on, I'm not objecting. But it's like calm yourself down.
Your tits.
Make sure there's no one behind me see her.
Also that, yes.
But that's another thing. It's like when people get to what's the word I'm looking for? Enthusiastic about that kid, about a number of people. They don't take into account everything else around them. It's like tunnel vision. It's like I'm going to come and jump on you, and you're going to find it really romantic. Whereas actually, what it looks like is that you're basically make it look you're about to do like the spear into them, like a Roman Reigns or Goldberg reference, and it just looks weird to me.
Yeah,
especially when you're not on the end of it either.
It's that thing, the whole like jumping at someone. Yeah, it's very romantic, but if they're not expecting it, you're literally just tackling someone.
That's the thing. It's like if someone tried it on me now, because I also did that wrestling training about 2 years ago. The first thought would be do a power slam on them, or turn it into a power bomb or something.
Yeah. You saying about like theme parks remind me. Ben, who's been on the podcast a few times, I'm in a group chat with him and a few friends from uni, and his missus put in it, just her holding this big cuddly bear, about like, a bit smaller than the one that's behind you. Bearing in mind we have like a 4 foot tall bear sitting behind Kate.
Well, what we should do is when we do the picture, take a picture of us.
Yeah, just like you know. So
this is too much affection. Right.
God dang!
I just tried to hug the bear just for context.
Yeah. But yeah, she like sent a picture of her with this like giant bear. And the caption was just like, oh, Ben just won me this. And like all the girls in our chat were like, oh, boyfriend goals, that's so cute, that's so adorable. And I'm like, you big wimp. And I think I messaged him privately, it's like, you just suck.
It's just, it's...
Can you just know, all like the other couples in the area at the time, all the other women just looked at the boyfriend like, why can't you win me a bear? And all the guys around there just like, fuck you, dude.
You are now.
You're the reason why we're gonna have the silent treatment all the way home.
I'm not getting sex tonight, and it's your fault. I'm gonna purposely come and get a vuvuzela outside of your window and blow all the way through.
Oh, vuvuzelas! I really want Ben to listen to us now and just like, no, he's the reason people aren't having sex.
I bet you never thought you'd get a vuvuzela mentioned in your podcast either.
I haven't had a vuvuzela in ages.
You know why? Because they were fucking nonsense.
Yeah, that yeah.
In fact, that's a punishment. If you do public signs of affection inconsiderately, you should have a vuvuzela just blown in your ear for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, in our Britain, when the current government falls to shit, we'll take over and fucking rewrite this world.
Well, we couldn't do much worse, could we?
Not really, no.
I mean, obviously we're recording this before the elections happened. I'm assuming it's this isn't going out until after that, but.
I have visions that like when this finally gets released, it's going to be like on like a Fallout 4 style Pip-Boy. So there's still life.
Yeah, well, after Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and if she's still in power, Theresa May, just in a triad of ugh.
Oh, let's not think about that world.
That's the official side effect. Ugh.
Yeah, the four horses of the apocalypse.
Well, you say don't think about the world. We're in that world at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to think about it. It's raining outside. That's how good it is. One thing I found with couples, probably like the saddest part when like a couple's been like overly PDA, is when they've got a friend with them, but just the one friend, so they're third wheeling hard.
Oh, that's so bad. It's like you feel really sorry for that person, but at the end of the day, they didn't know what they were getting into.
Yeah, I saw one the other day at work. These two like came in holding hands, like kissing each other on the cheek and whatever, and there was this guy standing next to him, just like awkwardly carrying his bags. I was like, oh mate,
not looking too sheepish then.
No, oh, it just looked. He looked so unhappy with how his life turned out, and I don't blame him.
This is my life now.
Yeah. So every time I used to go out with like Sammy and Tom whenever they would. Like this time, well, not this time last year, but midway through last year, I was homeless for a little bit, so I was like couch surfing. So I used to hang out with Tom and Sammy quite a bit, and they're not that bad when it comes to like being overly like cutesy out in public. But it's just like they were like holding hands, like cuddling each other, like bouncing off each other, and I was just sort of like awkwardly stood there. There's like overarching shadow behind them because I'm a bit taller, and I was like, just kind of looked properly creepy for like people who were like just watching us as like giant man following this couple.
I like how you use the phrase "a little bit taller."
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's like for context, I'm 5'11". I only come up to about Steve's chin, and when I say chin, I include his beard in that.
Yeah, yeah. It's my favourite one is Josh in the other room. My hip bone starts at his nipple. It's my favourite thing about Josh.
Seriously?
Yeah.
When we go back out?
Yeah, when we finish this, because he's only sat in the front room, I'll show you, but it's fucking amazing.
He is quite short, that's it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, just like seeing the different third wheels, it is tragic. It's super tragic. I'm trying to think, like, we had recently to when we were recording this, there was the big boxing match.
Joshua Klitschko.
Yeah, Joshua Klitschko. And
I don't like boxing, and I know that. You've got no excuse.
That's the thing. I got invited to it, and I was like, I'm not really into boxing. And they were doing it they were showing it at the student bar just down the road. And I was like, as a social thing, I might come down for it. But as we were just going to get some stuff from our friend's place, and they were talking to a colleague from work, and we had this like in the making couple with us. I just looked at the like quote unquote couple, looked at this person who was walking through, who's asking if I was going to come with, and I just looked at the couple again. I was like, no. It's like, why not? It's like, I'm not dealing with that. Absolutely not. So I feel kind of bad because they ended up just staying in that person's place to watch the fight. I just walked past like, I know fully well you're going to play third wheel, and she was begging me like, please don't let me play the third wheel. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting myself through that. I don't even like. If it was anything else, if it was like a football match, I'd bear it. Or if it was a wrestling match, I'd bear it. This is boxing. I have no care about boxing at all.
Being a third wheel, something you don't even care about.
Yeah, it's not worth the sacrifice. So I just went home and played Black Flag till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, fair enough.
I had a great time. Fuck the fucking boxing.
I'm about to make a very bad joke then about not being a third wheel skirt and playing with a big wheel on a ship.
Heyo.
Oh, it's a terrible joke.
Yeah, it is.
That's getting cut out.
Never. God, you're so popular today.
Won't go that far. It's probably a sales line. It's somewhere in Manchester.
Yeah.
I'm always popular. What are you on about? I'll say after I've just gone to watch a film on my own.
Oh.
No, it's I believe the phrase is master dating.
Oh god, that's a horrible phrase.
Yeah, I don't know where it's come from. But it was on BuzzFeed a while ago. It was on one of these phrases which was like people who go into normally social activities on their own.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, last time I could go on about the appropriate. Last time I went to cinema with someone.
Jesus Christ.
Which was just weird. It was just like just there through the film, and all of a sudden their hand is moving, and I'm just like, okay, this is kind of weird. Yeah, I haven't seen that person since.
Oh, I was gonna like when the phone started vibrating, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good point to like cut that out, but I just think I'd leave it in from master dating.
Yeah,
I don't want to suffer through that phase alone.
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't mispronounce it.
Oh yeah, I used to be so careful. Like it's a D. There's
a very big difference between master dating in the cinema and masturbating in the cinema. Very big difference. You get chucked out for one of them.
Ugh. Well,
that's thrown you off now, hasn't it?
It actually has.
But anyway, speaking of inappropriate touching.
Yeah, well, let's say a story I've got on here. I've just written it down as like my own accommodation. So, I used to live in a place called Danesgate, which now, as we're talking, it's a really nice complex, really nice student accommodation. However, when I was living there, it was none of these things.
They waited until you moved out. That's what it was.
Probably. But they didn't even wait until we moved out. By Christmas, they were drilling underneath my bedroom with a concrete drill at like 7 a.m. And so our tenancy there ran out in like June. By April, they knocked a huge hole in our wall and then just put a bit of plywood up in front of it. It's like, oh, okay, what we need is right in there. And we'll just put a bit of board up.
Yeah,
we had all sorts of trouble with Danesgate. I could happily fill a podcast with that.
It's basically had a massive glory hole on your wall.
Pretty much, yeah. It was cheap, so if I complain, I'd mow and sink. And like I said, the stories I have about Danesgate could go on for days, but the main one I want to go to is there's a few of us as a group, somehow we all had a lecture at the same time, or we're all going to some sort of really early morning thing. So we all left, and as we were coming out of Danesgate, now it's like the entrance is on like the main road. Back then it was like behind it, leading to a car park. So we came into the car park, turned left, and went onto the main road, and we could see this couple on the opposite side of the road, just like sat on the wall next to like the parking meter. And you had him in his full like tracky shell suit, straight out of like an early 2000 chav, and this girl just like sat on the wall in front of him, and it's like, alright, then they're just like having a chat or whatever, and then all of a sudden she just started like stroking his lap and stroking his crotch, and I was like, guys, are you seeing this? And like, yeah, what do we do? Don't make eye contact. And we're just like, it was that thing, like we went to like looking at to make sure like what we're seeing is what's actually happening, and trying to look down to like not, if they happened to turn around and saw like the 3 or 4 of us just stand there staring, we probably would have got shanked because, like I said, it looked like a chav.
That sounds about right for that area.
Yeah. And as we went around the corner, she was full on like just stroking all up in there, and I was like, I know it's quite. It's like it was like 8:30 in the morning. So bizarre like that. I was like, it's 8:30 in the morning, so I get it's fairly quiet. But have you got to do that right there, right now, next to a giant building complex?
To be fair, Jeremy Carr was on like an hour later. You gotta get it out of the way.
Fucking the couples on that. Just try. Oh.
Well, they'll be on it in a year by the sound of it.
Yeah.
When they've had a child called Chardonnay or something like that.
Oh God, it's gonna happen. Oh, what a world.
When you got people with stupid kids' names. I think it all started when Gwyneth Paltrow called a kid Apple.
Oh my God.
Yeah, do you not know about this? Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin named the kid Apple.
Oh, what do you expect? It's a fucking guy from Coldplay.
No, this was before he turned weird. I think this was, 2004 maybe? Something like that?
Well, you got like Cheryl Versace, whatever her name is. It changes every week. And Liam from One Direction, child's called Bear Payne.
I'm sorry?
Bear. It's called Bear, obviously taking the last name, Bear Payne. Right. Some people should not reproduce for reasons like that and reasons like that alone.
I don't even know what to say. Bear Payne.
Yep. It's almost as bad as Northwest.
Ugh. Well, they're both as bad as each other.
Yeah, they are.
Speaking of inappropriate signs of thing, the West.
I think there was something a while ago where they got caught just basically dry humping on the way to something, or like in the back of a limo to somewhere, and it was just that thing where it's like you've got like celebrity status, like obviously Kardashian and West. Do you not have like a time and a place? Are you that active and that busy in your like respective social lives that you can't find time for that in private?
No, well, you know why they didn't do it in private? Because they're media whores. The whole family is. It's gonna go on a mid rant now. Right. So these people who have no skills whatsoever. Obviously, Bruce stroke Caitlyn Jenner. Fair enough. Used to be an Olympian. Okay, actual talent there.
Yeah.
When she was younger. Fair enough. No objections with her whatsoever. Kanye West. Don't like his music whatsoever. It's a shocking genre of music. I'm not going to get into an argument with anyone over that. It's a piece of shit music.
Yeah.
What the fuck have the rest of them done? They're just waste of talent people who somehow got famous because their father was involved in a trial back in the early 1990s, and now all of a sudden every few months they do something that's, this is accidentally on purpose just to try and get popular for their shitty TV show that no one ever watches yet. Somehow it still gets made and making Steve laugh without annoying anyone. And it's just like it's just pure nonsense.
You've gone bright red with rage. It's fantastic.
It's like you've seen Jurassic Park, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You know that scene where Jeff Goldblum's character is looking at he's looking at the Triceratops crab. Basically, what you could do, you could replace the pile of shit in that and with a picture of the Kardashians and have him just go, that is one big pile of shit, and you still have the exact same sentiment. In fact, it would mean more because they're just a waste of human life. I mean, who in the right mind at ITV decided to dedicate an hour of TV every other week or on MTV just to their lives? I mean, who honestly gives a fuck? It's just like, look, our popularity, we've gone down 2 followers on Twitter. Better make a sex tape that's been leaked.
Break the internet. Fuck off.
Yeah, with your sorry.
More plastic in that family than a McDonald's Happy Meal toy.
That's probably
yeah.
That's probably the first time you had someone properly ranting on it.
No, I love it. I say it's nice for me not to do it for a change.
Yeah, it's one of the things. If I was truly going for it, or was talking about something else, I could just rant for hours about anything. But anyway, sorry. It's
It's alright. I feel like that's been building for a while. For you.
No, it's just that anytime I get a chance to bash those people, and it's just the same with any celebrities that are just like in this couple. It's like, Beyonce's pregnant with twins. Who gives a fuck? It's not what, she's having a kid. Well, fucking done. Wow, she had sex. Let's broadcast it to the world.
Yeah.
And who gives a fuck? She's a. Sorry, I really want to rant about Beyonce now, but we'll be going off the subject too much. So
it's fine.
But speaking of people who are media whores and
so we're gonna
again, to be fair, she does have talent. To be fair to her. But
Beyonce is tolerable. I can fair play to that.
Anyway, calm.
No, I don't want you to calm because you, like you said, you live in London. You live and work in London.
He's got to be angry.
Yeah.
I was a nice calm person before I moved down to London, and it's like, now look at me.
Yeah, you'd say London's broken spirit somewhat. I see on your Facebook and your Twitter quite often that you've got your like various people of London.
Oh God.
Are there any like just overly affectionate people from London that you can sort of think of off the top of your head?
Not over that I've mentioned already. I mean, there's people who invade personal space quite a lot. Like, obviously, one of my the series I've called on Facebook, by the way, is called Weird People of London. I'm up to episode 20 by now.
Fucking hell, I didn't realize you were that high up.
Yeah, obviously I can't do it in a moment because I'm in Lincoln at the moment. But as soon as I get back, no doubt within half an hour I'll have one. But it was just this completely empty bus, just me on it, and then this Jamaican woman gets on, and she sits next to me. It's like, it's a fucking empty bus. What the fuck are you playing at? And it's just like, I don't get it.
You have the entire bus at your disposal.
And you sit next to me.
Yes.
No one wants to sit next to me. I don't want to sit next to me. And it's just like, I just really wanted to turn to her and just say, fuck off. But she was on the phone just jabbering on about some fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
It's, that probably sounds a bit racist if I said that. I'll just leave it out.
Anytime you've got to stop yourself because it's racist, like, okay.
No, it's, I'm not a racist person. It's just one of those things where I've noticed like anyone from there's a large Caribbean group in London.
Yeah.
And there's not a single one of them that isn't religious.
Right.
Or spends their entire time on a bus just shouting down the phone. And it's not just like quiet conversations like, I would have a phone and I'd be a bit like this, and they'd be like, yes, I was doing this, and then it'd be
fucking
like,
hell. Yeah,
I'm surprised one of them's not going to come out while they did. Go, I'm Barry Scott.
Oh man, I miss Barry Scott. He was great.
No, have you not seen? They're doing more adverts.
Are they?
Yeah, did you not see? It's on TV again recently.
Fucking
no, it's just like the usual shit. Or you get people blocking the you're coming out of like Oxford Street underground station, and it's quite a narrow. Considering the amount of people that go in for it, it's quite a narrow entrance. You get people stood at the top of the stairs going, "Oh, I'm really going to miss you," just swinging their arms about like they're about to do the hammer in the Olympics. You know, they do all that warm up first when they do that. And it's just like they just stood there. It's like, maybe fuck out of your way. You're in a barn dance or something. And then he's just bashing people as they go by, and then they accuse other people of being rude because they're stood at the top on the stairs, blocking off an entrance. It's like, fuck off. It's like, I just want to grab one of them and just push them heavily down the stairs. I have a lot of built-up anger.
Yeah, apparently. That's good. Get it out. The one that I've spoken about it with Callum a lot, and I've spoken to you about it here. We're both really big fans of wrestling.
Well, not so much anymore.
You've like sort of done it for a bit. One thing I will try and like defend about 80% of wrestling, because I understand that it can be like quite a ridiculous thing. The one thing I hate though is whenever they have like relationship-based storylines, because they just become so cringe and so bad. Like at the moment, you've got on 205 Live, you've got Noam Dar and Alicia Cox, and like the mild racist in Vince McMahon. He's like, because Noam Dar is Scottish with his thick accent, it's like Alicia Funk, and it's like, what's happening? But the whole each week is just so cringy, like, because you know they're not going out in real life. They both got like various different partners, I believe, and it's just, you watch this and it just looks so bad, because you could, like the whole Edge Lita Matt Hardy thing a few years back.
That was awesome.
It made great TV, but the whole thing of like, it was Matt and Lita, and then Lita cheated on with Edge, and then now they like.
It was a well-built storyline because it was based on real life. But then, then you get for every Matt, Lita, and Edge, you get a Rusev, Dolph Ziggler, Lana, and Samoa.
Oh my god!
I mean,
that was so bad.
I didn't watch it, but I just read all the reports. I mean, I've not watched wrestling really since CM Punk left. But it's just like, cause I know Noam Dar quite well, because I watched him a lot at various companies.
Oh yeah, he did indies quite a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, and I even met him once as well.
Oh yeah.
Because he was at a show that I was basically. I mentioned it already, but I used to train to be a wrestler. One time I went for this course up in a wrestling company in the Northwest, and he was there as one of the trainers, so I got a conversation with him going at one point. And he does have a really thick Scottish accent, but not as mad as they're making it out to be. But it's just like the WWE making stupid storylines. It's always going to happen. But
that whole that I'd completely forgotten about that storyline. I managed to block out my head, but yeah, Dolph Ziggler, Rusev, Lana, and Summer Rae. Rusev and Ziggler, both really good wrestlers, both really good on the mic. Lana was a good heel valet. Ended up just getting an organic crowd following, which fair enough. So that, like Punk and Bryan. And Summer Rae, I think she's a bit too green to be in the main roster. I'd like to see her back in NXT, which they're training. But they put them all together. It was Lana and Rusev. Rusev ditched Lana, so then Lana went on her own. Eventually started, quote unquote, seeing Ziggler. And then Rusev got Summer Rae. And it was just a whole, like, love square. And it was just so painfully bad. Like, oh, I never loved you. I only ever loved me. No, you didn't. You brought me all these nice diamond things. I'm like, God, what?
Who gives a fuck? And it didn't even have a payoff at the end of it, did it? Either?
No, because TMZ, I think Lana either sold the story or TMZ picked it up before anyone realised that Lana and Rusev got engaged in real life. Although she put an Instagram picture out of them, like, in bed with the ring. So it completely destroyed the storyline and gave her, like, nuclear heat backstage. And it's like, after all that, and then that's the payoff.
For non-wrestling fans, heat is when you have a lot of begrudges backstage.
It's just like, this is the dictionary part.
I'll translate for non-wrestling fans.
But yeah, like, all those, like, really, like, back in, 98, you had Mark Henry, big, like, 400-pound black strongman. Like, he's an Olympian. I think he's won gold medal.
He hasn't. Not in the Olympics, no. He was in the 96 Olympics, but he pulled out for injury. And I don't think he was in any Olympics after that.
So yeah, you had him, and you also had Mae Young, who at the time was about 70, about
there was a going on.
5'4", and they tried to make, like, this relationship between the two. I use the term relationship very generously, because the payoff for the storyline was that she gave birth to a hand.
It was like Cousin It out of... No, not It. It was the hairy one, wasn't it? It's the whatever the hand was called.
Yeah, it was just...
It was just bizarre. It's just wrestling. You know, one relationship I'm looking forward to addressing when the person's not injured anymore? What? Paige.
Oh,
and Xavier Woods. Just when they're on screen together for the first time. For, again, context for those who don't know, there's a wrestler called Paige who's quite famous over here for a wrestling family called the Knights. And she got into WWE... about 3 years ago now? 3-4 years, something like that, including NXT.
About that, yeah.
And about 2 years ago, she made a sex tape with two other wrestlers called Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox. That leaked.
Good old Brad Maddox.
He did fuck all.
Really did.
And that got released, leaked.
Leaked in inverted commas.
Leaked in the Kim Kardashian version of leaked.
Yeah. Was it earlier this year?
Yeah, it's about 3 months or so ago.
Yeah.
And she's injured at the moment. She hasn't, but she's been pissing WWF. WWF? That's
WWF, fucking hell.
Jesus. The weird thing is, I've known it longer as WWE than I have as WWF.
I'd say it's been 15 years.
Yeah, but I can't wait till she comes back just to see what they actually do with it, because obviously people know.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as PG with her anymore.
No.
But it's true. It's like on wrestling, you get all this random affection. It's like storyline from like 15 years ago, the invasion angle.
Oh god.
DDP and the Undertaker with the
stalking. Oh god.
the stalker storyline. Stalker storyline with his wife Sarah. Speaking of name tattoos, Sarah across the neck.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is now. I think it's just a generic tattoo, isn't it?
It's a generic tattoo, like some weird Tribally 5 sort of thing. But in picture promos, like his promo picture for WrestleMania just gone, they've shopped it out.
Really?
So it's just his bare neck. And I remember seeing it. It's like, but it should at least say Sarah, because I know he's been married to Michelle McCool for, I want to say, like 5 years now.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the weddings of wrestlers.
But it's just, yeah, that storyline, because DDP, like the invasion angle was basically the back in the day you had WWE and WCW. They were the two main wrestling companies, and you had ECW as well.
Basically WCW fucked up a lot.
Yeah, WCW just sort of like they're shooting yourself in the foot. They like set themselves on fire and then jumped in the gasoline.
It's like WWE's. We won the war. To be fair, a rabbit could have won that war.
Yeah.
It's WCW.
It wasn't the fact that like WWE won. It's more WCW very much lost. But they had the whole thing with like buying talent, and the only really big names they got was Booker T, who achieved like various successes.
He was champion a lot towards the end.
Oh yeah.
DDP.
And DDP. Yeah, and none of the other... The only one from ECW really had was RVD, and he got used quite well.
Well, they had Tommy Dreamer.
And he didn't really do a great deal.
He didn't do a lot at all, did he? They had Just Incredible as well, who formed that awful tag team with X-Pac called X Factor.
Oh yeah, with Albert.
That really bad theme music. But anyway, you were saying.
But yeah, they had this... They got DDP, who was like probably the biggest star they got from WCW, and they turned him into a stalker, and it was just him like following the Undertaker's real life wife, and then because she was involved in the storyline, and the Undertaker was going through those "I'm not dead, I'm actually human" phase. They had to do like promos and stuff where they were being coupley and like hanging out, and like I was like, why?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Vince McMahon, knowing the way he works storylines, did actually stalk them, and they didn't know that was going on, and they said, "Oh, by the way, Mark's the Undertaker's real name, by the way, breaking kayfabe."
Oh.
Mark and Sarah. "Oh, by the way, we did this." What?
Oh, man.
And it's just.
It wouldn't surprise me with Vince. He's been desperate to do an incest angle with his daughter for about 4 years.
Because the thing, she rejected it, and then I think his first reaction was straight away afterwards, "What about Shane?" Shane's her brother.
Yeah.
Just for clarification.
He's a fucking nut job, isn't he?
It's like you look at the way Triple H is managing NXT at the moment. I reckon once Vince does eventually decide to go, I reckon WWE will turn into a really watchable product if it turns out like NXT. Because you look at, say, some of the talent that's coming over the last year or so into the main roster from NXT, like Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura now. Well, it can't get any worse, can it?
No.
But it's like when you see wrestlers who get together on screen who had no chemistry whatsoever beforehand, like male and female wrestler. Like, for example, when Molly Holly decided to join Hurricane Helms as a super fighting team, along with Rosie, who was a superhero in training.
That's bullshit.
It was just, oh dear, it was just wrong.
That's the thing. I don't know what I hate more, when it's really obvious that they're not into it, like the Dolph Ziggler Lana four-way thing, or when they play it off. It's like based on like a real relationship, like Melina and Johnny Nitro. I don't know what's worse, because when they don't put the effort in, you can tell it's super cringe. But when they're actually a couple, they just basically act like they're standard coupling on screen. And like Melina and Johnny Nitro have huge like egos and personalities, so it was always very evident that they were a relationship backstage as well, to uncomfortable levels.
Do you watch TNA at all?
I used to. Thankfully, I've like managed to stop because it's terrible now.
They did a story a few years ago with Angelina Love.
Yeah. And
a lady whose name escapes me for a character in TNA, but she used to be in WWE as well. Like, very minor character, you probably won't remember. Where basically, this, if I remember correctly, this woman fell in love with Angelina Jolie. Not Angelina Jolie. Well, she might have done, you never know. Angelina Love, rather, sorry. And Angelina obviously said no.
Yeah.
So what this character decided to do was become a witch and hypnotise her.
What?
Yeah, and then she was walking around like a zombie, and there were just the way start of each match was she'd always get a finger and just sort of run out of Angelina's like top of her chest. And Angelina Love has got a rather plastic chest, shall we say?
A rather sizable plastic chest.
Yes, it's and then it was really weird because then you've got her on-screen best friend was a wrestler called Velvet Sky, who was trying to snap out of her, and those two were displayed as two of the most selfish characters you could ever get. But then all of a sudden Velvet Sky is showing up with Bully Ray, obviously Bully Ray Dudley.
Yeah.
And there are a couple all of a sudden. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? It just makes no sense whatsoever.
Wrestling in general just needs to leave couples alone, or like leave the whole couple thing alone,
or only bring it out when it's necessary. Like say for example, obviously the Bellas, who were heels at the time, suddenly becoming faces simply because of who they were in a relationship with, John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, well that's why they didn't want like when Bryan won the title at WrestleMania 30. Then if you go back and look at it, he celebrates with Connor, the little boy that WWE had a thing with.
Conor Mikulik.
Mikulik, that was it. And I think his mother or his sister, something like that. Basically, he celebrated with family, but Brie never came down because at the time her character, I'm pretty sure her character was heel, and they didn't want WWE didn't want to break kayfabe even for this like really big moment for them.
I think I'm trying to think because Stephanie and Brie had a match at SummerSlam. I can't remember if it was one before that WrestleMania or the one after. Because that's the one where she turned. The other one whose name escapes me turned heel.
Nikki.
That's the one. That's the one she turned heel by turning on Brie.
Yeah. God, that was an awful storyline.
I wish I'd strangled you in the womb or something stupid like that.
I wish I strangled you in the womb.
I think that's the thing. You can always the thing with the female wrestlers. There are a lot of good wrestlers.
Yeah.
But you can so tell when they're not into it.
Oh yeah.
It's just like they've got no chill whatsoever.
Literally none. I'd love to do like a podcast all that. Well, podcast just ripping the shit into wrestling because we've been here for days.
Days is covering it slightly.
Yeah.
I remember when Trish debuted and she started a stable with Test and Albert and called it TNA.
Ah, Christ. One more point that I've just thought of. Because I was just thinking about like big events like that. It's when you get the marriage proposals at these big events. Because WWE had catered to it a few times. They've got people to like propose in the ring, propose at live shows. Baseball's a big one for it because they've got like the big Titantron or big dot matrix. And it either goes two ways. They say yes, and everyone's cheering and hollering, and you realise that it's why do you have to do it here? Because there's so much pressure.
Well, if it was me, you'd be stood there going, nope.
Yeah.
Just stood in the crowd. Just
no. But I've seen it a few times where, because obviously they can't say no because there's thousands, maybe millions of people watching them. So I've seen it a few times where they've just ran away.
Really?
This woman was proposing to a fella, and I think it was in like Japan or China or something like that, and he had none of it. So he ran. It was on like this baseball field or football field, and he just ran, absolutely legged it, and ran down the tunnel, and everyone just sort of stood there like, what?
Well, the best thing about that is you don't have to worry about them sharing kids' pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Just to make it rounded again.
But it's just I don't know if it's just like because if I'm like maybe traditionalist when it comes to that sort of thing, like you do it when it's like a big moment, but it's just why it's not a football game or like an American football game or any sort of sporting event isn't the most romantic.
Well, that's the thing is like, I don't understand like sometimes you get people who go to restaurants and propose to the people then it's like no, take them somewhere that actually means something.
Yeah.
This is how I'd do it if by some fluke I ever get married. I don't believe in marriage, so it's obviously I believe in it. I believe it exists.
Yeah.
It's atheism towards marriage. No, it doesn't exist.
Flat world society.
Oh God.
That was pure disgust on your face.
Yeah, I'm very good at pulling off the pure disgust look. But it's just like I think some people just like it for the attention. Again,
yeah.
It's like, oh look, I could propose to you someone that means something to us. Like, oh, something's could pop up on your computer.
Nah, that's fine.
Okay. You can cut that bit out anyway, can't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like just in the middle of a restaurant. Oh, I brought you to this restaurant. I could do this where we first met or somewhere, but no. Let's do it in front of everyone who we don't know. Get congratulations on people and people clapping. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's just almost like validation. Like I remember I think it must have been second year. I was doing some revision for something. Yeah, just cut them. I was doing some revisions for something, and I remember like just putting it on like Instagram or something. It's like, oh, it's a good thing. And like I put this here. Else, if I'm not Instagramming it, then what's the point? Because it's just, I get that people want to like celebrate relationship and that sort of thing, but I can think of someone immediately who, literally like every other week is like, they're my world, they're my idol. I'm like, get fucked.
No, that's the thing. It's like, say for example, obviously. There's two girls that come to mind who are the exact opposite and do relationships right on social media. Obviously, one that would in the same company as us, Jess.
Oh yeah.
And her boyfriend, and also Holly, when she was with her boyfriend at the time, whose name escapes me. I can't recall her ever putting anything on Facebook now. I mean, we're not connected on Facebook anymore. for reasons I might go into. But it's like neither of them really talked about their partner on Facebook. It's the only time Jess mentions George, who is her boyfriend, is like when they're taking pictures of like when they're on holiday together, which is fine. They get it, but it's like when you get just social media.
That whole thing with Holly though ended up being a bit of a curse because like you say, she was like very quiet with her relationship, and I remember going around their house once, and I just saw like the mood was like kind of off anyway. A lot of people were having a bad day at the time, and I was like trying to break the tension. Like, so Holly, like, how's the other half? And she went, oh, like what? Oh, we broke up like 2 weeks ago. Like, fuck. And I was just like, this person's having an awful time. This person having an awful time, and now I've just brought up all this. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. So
Stephen Hooke making an impact. Just
fucking hell.
Open the door. The hurricane follows you through.
Just ruining people's lives.
No, to be fair, it's what we're good at.
Oh yeah.
Holly won't mind us sharing these stories about her. Will she?
Yeah, well.
Obviously, I don't talk to her anymore, so it's a bit weird.
I'm sure she'll be fine. She likes to laugh at my misery, so she probably won't mind.
To be fair, it's the best thing about you.
Yeah, people keep saying that. Right. So, I think I've exhausted all my horrible PDA stories. Have you got any more?
Just, as I mentioned, there's an example that I mentioned to you before we came in.
Yeah.
Which was, basically, me and you both used to work with a girl. We'll call her...
Oh, yeah.
We'll call her Miss L.
I'm so glad that's how I'm going to reference people I don't want to talk about.
If I have a K, I'm thinking, hold on a minute, is it with me or that person who was in the first podcast?
Yeah.
Now, for context with this, for people who don't know me, I'm transgender.
Yeah.
Obviously, it sounds a bit weird because obviously at the beginning you said Miss K Jackson, and all of a sudden a male voice comes on.
Yeah.
So I imagine that must have thrown a few people. But anyway, just before I left the current place, the place where me and Steve both worked at the time, I moved on to a new one. We were at a Christmas party. This was towards the end of 2015, and there was this. Yeah. There was this. Yeah, I know it's quite a while ago. Isn't it?
I'm old.
It's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You're old. I'm like 10 years old. I'm like 10 years older than you are.
Still.
Anyway, this girl, Miss L.
Miss L.
She. Yeah. I like the girl. A lot of people didn't, but she had no filter. She was very much to the point.
Yep.
Anyway, so then. Just this Christmas party, I'm going to leave, and I think she thought this was the last time she was going to see me. To be fair, I do evoke that I do bring that emotional impact on people. I am a very lovable person. What can I say when I'm not ranting about the Kardashians? But anyway, so all of a sudden I just get a tap on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, who's that? I don't know. It's Lou. I turn around, all of a sudden her hand just grabbed both my chest.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's and she just goes, oh, I'm just sort of curious what they felt like. And I'm like, well, you could have just asked.
I mean, there's two ways you could have gone about this, and I think you've gone the wrong way.
Yeah, you could either ask, feel your own.
Yeah, because forgive me if I'm wrong, you went through hormone injections, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm still doing. Well, not injections, I'm doing. It's like a little patch that goes on my ass.
Okay. There we go.
It's like a cigarette patch, so it's basically, you know, a cigarette patches they pump nicotine in. It does hormones.
So yeah, it's like through hormone treatment. So they are just natural, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
if in theory I could produce milk if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, I say if I wanted to.
Just shoot at your enemies. Next time you see someone do PDA on the train.
Get even more inappropriate.
Who can make this worse?
I see your attempt to make this up, and I raise you.
But like, I'm sure. Like, obviously, talk about that. You're very, you're not exactly shy about it. If she were to like say, what are they like? You could just explain it to her.
Yeah, so they're no different from a natural female breast.
Yeah.
So it's like just exactly the same. It's just the weird thing about having someone just touch them. It's like, okay, this is a bit weird.
Just suddenly.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. It's like I don't mind people asking questions, but at least just.
There's a very fine line between. Well, it's not even a fine line. It's just there's either asking questions or just borderline harassment.
That's the thing. It's like, I mean, when have you ever asked me a question about that I've just declined to answer? About this, obviously.
Yeah. There's not much. Like I said, because like I remember when I first met you, I still even do it now sometimes. I'll accidentally say he or that sort of thing, even though I've only ever known you as Kate.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me personally though.
But that's the thing, like, it doesn't bother you. You just when we first met each other, it was just like, my name is Kate. I do identify as a woman, but I don't mind. I don't
think I worded it like that. I don't never say it like that.
But it's just like the general consensus was, I'm a woman, but if you say he by accident, I'm not gonna take it to heart.
I don't give a shit.
No. So you are very open with it, but it's just anything I've ever wanted to know, you just go up to you and say. You don't. I've never once gone, "Hey Kate, honk."
I don't even know what to say.
I think that's a great part to end on.
Yes, it's honk honk.
Yeah, honk honk.
So I've seen in Family Guy where Peter becomes Lois for about 2 minutes and just goes honk honk, squeeze squeeze.
Amazing.
I should get a screenshot for the podcast.
Yeah, as soon as I said Hong Kong, I was like, I've got my head as Family Guy now.
Yeah, it's like just
Speed.
That'd be great because you just have that as the thing and be like, what relevance has this got to anything? And then people will get back to
well.
I know, that's made me laugh.
Cool. So that has been officially XXX kisses, but it's just been like general outward display of affection, like PDA.
In short, it's wrong.
Yeah, just like I'm not gonna say you can't be in relationships because I know too many people in relationship to completely ban it. But just have some decency.
Be considerate as well.
Yeah. No one wants to be the awkward guy following, just hands in pockets, watching the world go by as your sucking face. Or if you're in cases finding people getting way too familiar with each other.
If you want to feel them, just ask.
Yeah.
I'll probably say no still.
I think I might make that the title of the podcast. If you want to feel them, just ask. So, you have been Kate Jackson. I'll put various links to how you can find Kate in her blog in the description. I've been me, and I will see you next week.
Cool. Cheers, guys. Have a good day.
Bye bye.